Hey guys, Eternal here, and it's time for that another anime theory, and it's about Erza versus Mirajane and who was stronger, and it's time to get into it. Well, as we know, Fairy Tail has ended the manga, and now there may be rumors that Hiromashima may be making another series about it of the next generation of the kid version. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. It depends on how he does it, really. That's just how I personally feel about it. But I guess I'll start with Erza first. Erza Scarlet, the poster woman of Fairy Tail, the one and be all of Fairy Tail, most basically. The one that is Titania, the queen of all fairies, has been stated to be the strongest female in Fairy Tail. Even Natsu, Gray, Natsu are afraid of her, and I always saw Natsu as stronger than her, considering he is the main protagonist. But he shows fear and doubt when it comes to Erza. But from her, what I really do like about Erza is that her armors. I really do like her character, but you know, lately she's been portrayed as really OP since the Grand Magic games. She's, you know, people were like her fights are BS because she always ends with the power of friendship and everything like that. And I didn't really start seeing that until after. Well, I started to question it when she had her fight with Azuma. I questioned it, but I'm like, you know what? You know, I'm gonna let that go because I mean, like, that was like a kind of a dire situation. But in the Magic games, I was really expecting Kagura to win that because Kagura was coming out the gate. She was coming out the gate with all that. And I'm like, man, I like her style. She's like very stern, serious. She's just like all business. So I thought, if anything, Kagura would probably win that fight. But, you know, I was wrong on that. Erza pulled out her Nakagami armor, which is basically OP in a nutshell. And destroyed everybody. And people had a problem with that. They were like, okay, that's so BS and yada yada. Then lately, when she had her fight with Eileen, I'm not even going to get into that. That in itself was just, what the heck was that? Like, there was no logical sense in that whatsoever. It made even less sense than Erza versus, what is her name, Kyoka from in the Taurus arc. That made even more or less sense. But I guess I'll list her armor. She has her Nakagami armor, her Heaven's Wheel armor, her Heart Cruise armor, Black Wing armor, her Flight armor, her Armadora Fairy when she fought Erza Nightwalker. What else? She has her not Exterminator armor, the Purgatory armor. She has her armor where she doesn't have any armor at all. I forgot what the name of that one was, but she has like over. It's stated that she has over 1,000 armor, but we probably have only seen like maybe 50, somewhere around there. We haven't seen everything. I don't know if she really does have 100 armors. If she does, we haven't seen it throughout the whole series at all. Just only a select few. But the one we see the most probably is her Heart Cruise armor, because that's just her base armor. That's really it. And her getting into her character, I like her character. There's very few things I can really critique about it. She has the skill, she has her equip, which is her own armor, which is unique in itself amongst all the group in Fairy Tail. She's usually the one that presses forward when everyone's like, oh, we can't do this. She's basically like the front woman that leads the entire Fairy Tail, basically being the guildmaster if Makarov isn't near. You know, because people have stated that she would be a great guild master. But then some people were like, well, that might fall on Locke since he's the son-in-law. He should inherit that position, yada yada, stuff like that. But Erza does show strong leadership and strong will to really persevere through just about anything, putting the bullshit fights aside. She really is a good character, and she has a strong will. She has great magic. She's a great swordswoman, and overall, she has a very awesome design. You know, people, that red hair and that armor, I really just love the armor. Throughout the series, though, when Fairy Tail ended, it was weird for me because it just stopped. I haven't really been reading up to it. I haven't been catching up. But to me, when people say, oh, Fairy Tail's over, I'm like, wow, that was quick. I was expecting, it to be drawn out and give more details. Because I was hearing that Zeref was actually a god and yada yada. Stuff like that. So I was like, wow, that was pretty fast, pretty quick, actually. It was insane. But I guess, let me go over Erza's fights. I guess I'll start with the Ozma one. Her versus Ozma, like Grimheart had Fairy Tail beat. They really did. They had them on the ropes. They were done. And everybody was KO'd or just critically injured. And Erza was the last woman standing, I think, in that part. And Ozma was like, oh, I always wanted to fight the Queen of Fairies, Titania. And so he let her keep her magic, and she was getting wasted. Ozma should have had that win. He was taking control. It went back and forth for a little bit, but then Erza was starting to lose her magic. She was starting to get tired. She started to get worn out because her armors weren't doing barely anything to Ozma, and Ozma was hitting her left and right. And so when Ozma gained the upper hand, he was about to end it. It was about to be said and done. And then Erza, she said, friends, give me the power, the will to persevere. And then she donned her no armor outfit and just basically one-shotted Asuma. Basically. And I was like, wait a minute. She has no armor, but yet he's using his magic and sending trees towards her. Tree limbs and branches. And it's like, during that scene where she's like flying towards him, like, ah! It seemed like they were going through her, or like, it didn't even look like she was dodging in one scene. So I was like, are those going through her? That's what I was thinking. And all of a sudden, she just slices him, and then he's like, I'm done. You have beaten me. And I was like, wait a minute. He took control over the entire fight, basically. He had the upper hand. She had less magic, which means that means that slash should have did at least low damage to him. It shouldn't have been a critical hit. Maybe we got a scene where she's like, friends, give me strength, and they give her some of their strength and what's left of it. Okay, that would make more sense in that scene, because we can actually see the energy that she's collecting. Goku status when it's the Spirit Bomb. But, we didn't see any of that. It was just more of like, she was low on magic power. That was a fact. So, I mean, the damage she did to Ozma, it should have... Okay, if it did hurt him, it shouldn't have one-shotted him at least. He should have got back up, and he's like, that was a decent final attack. But this is over. Goodbye, Fairy Tail. Something like that. But it shouldn't have just dead him in like that. It shouldn't have just KO'd him and X'd him like that. I kind of had a problem with that. Like, seeing other people have a problem with that. Like, they were like saying, well, that was the start of the Erza bullshit fights. Things like that. So, the next fight was during the Magic Games, which I had money that Kagura was going to win because I started to like her character. Because I'm like, she's basically Erza, but without the bullshit. Like, that's what I thought. I'm like, she has an awesome design. I like her clothes. But she's basically Erza without the bullshit, though. She's a true, but she never got pushed. And it was like, damn, the way she came in the Magic Games, the way she made her debut in that, it was crazy. And so I'm like, I was slightly disappointed that Hero didn't push Kagura, because she was awesome. She has an awesome ability. She's great. She is the poster child for the Mermaid Heel Guild. She is their go-to. their go-to. And like Hero, that just shows the lack of Hero not pushing the characters that he makes. That's all I can really say on that. But Erza, she was like expecting to go against Miliana. Well, no, not her. I'll just say the Sabretooth Master's daughter, because I can't really remember her name off the top of my head. But, she was expecting to go one-on-one with her, and here comes Kagura out the gate, charging in, fighting Erza, because, she has a grudge because she let her brother get, she was mad because Jalal killed her brother. And Erza's like, no, don't hurt Jalal. Like, she has a reason to be upset. I didn't understand why Erza was like, please don't kill Jalal. He doesn't deserve it. Yeah, he just killed her brother. You would probably feel the same way if someone did you in like that. Someone did, killed one of your family members. Or someone you were close to. You would want revenge. You wouldn't just say, oh, no, it's okay. And then move on like that. No. That is not how that works. But, they fought it out. Bicker back and forth. And so, the Sabretooth's daughter, or Master's daughter, holds Miliana hostage, and so Kagura and Erza have to fight. And so Kagura starts doing Erza in, starts putting in work on her now. And I'm like, oh snap, it seems like Kagura's about to win this, or at least defeat Erza, and then she's got to deal with, the Queen of Sabretooth. But then Erza fucking says something to get her mad. She unsheaths her sword, when it's supposed to be unsheathed the whole time. And so when she uses like that blow, when Erza blocked that blast, that was sick. That was insane right there. And so I'm like, oh snap. Kagura may be more powerful than Erza. That's what I was thinking watching it. But, later on, Erza's like, okay, I'm done playing around now. Nakagame armor, second origin, and just shits on everybody. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is a good battle up till this point where she just destroys everybody. It's like, come on. Now that was bullshit because she was getting damaged. She was on the ropes. And then she just uses her Nakagame armor and just KOs everybody. One shot. No problem ass. The question I have is, why would Hero make such an OP armor like that? Just one shots. If that's the case, you should use it all the time to one-shot her enemies, because that's clearly what it is. Just one shot. If she has a problem, hey, girl, she can be like, hey, Irene, hey, mother, how are you? I'm gonna have to do you in. Nakagami armor, done. OP, one shot. It's over. No matter who you are. It's crazy when you think about it like that. It really is crazy. And then she continues to be like pushed up, battle after battle. And then the craziest one I've seen is when she lost her senses during the Tartarus arc. And she's faking Kuroka. She was getting destroyed. She lost all her senses. She was basically fucked. And yet she still wins. She still manages to win that fight. And I'm looking at that like, what? That makes 0 sense. 0 sense. In that, you lose all your senses: sight, hearing, touch, everything. You lose everything. You are basically blind, and she still manages to win. Like, someone please explain that to me, because that makes 0 sense. I don't know how that got in the production. I don't know how they okayed that, because that made 0 sense. 0 sense. Donut. That fight was some BS. But the one fight I really enjoyed from Erza was her versus Nightwalker. I thought that was great. It was even. It was basically back and forth. And see, that's the fights that the fans wanted to see from Erza. Back and forth. Not when it's like, oh, one shot, you're done. They want to see that type of fight. Where it's like, oh, this is actually going to be a good fight. Both of them are basically even or just right up there. It's going to be a good fight. It's not going to be one-sided. It's going to be back and forth. And now we get to the Demon Mirajane. Personally, I favor her over Erza because of the bullshit. But Mira is an unused character just like Kagura is. And that's a shame. Because her Satan Soul is great. Her takeover is great. Like, you could do so much with that. So much with that. And that was proven when she was fighting with Freed. She was OP. But not like super OP that it's ridiculous. But it was enough that she was an S-class mage. You know, she doesn't get into many fights as the rest of the guild members, but she still maintains her strength. Probably trains off screen or does something off screen that we haven't seen yet, or Hero hasn't put in. You know, she can take over demons. That in itself is crazy. That in itself is crazy. Like she has that good power, man. That takeover, I mean, Elfman is okay, but Lisana, but Mirajane, though. Mirajane's? Ain't no question about it. There's no contest with that. That is game over status right there. That is just a done and done. Because she right there, man. And the battle with Free was awesome. Like, I love her soul extinction. I'm like, that is awesome. And she's a good fighter, but she doesn't do it often. Like when she had her fight with Ozma, she was already weak before, and now that was great. That was great right there. Because because Lisana was trapped in this tree bomb, and Ozma's like, and Mirajane's like, please let her out, and Ozma's like, you say that, and yet, and I'm not the one who's afraid to fight. You know, and then Mirajane's like, okay, I have to do this guy in. But she was already low on magic power, and she even said it. So she already knew she wasn't going to beat him. All she was going to do is buy time. And then in the end, she sacrifices her own body to save Lisana from suffering a lot of damage. And then later on, Erza comes in, which I've already talked about. But, you know, Mirajane is like, she has the power. She has the power and the skills to be just as good as the rest, or she's already there, but Hiro Mashima doesn't show her. He doesn't give her the screen time. He doesn't give her the awesome fights that we all want to see, because we know Mirajane is strong. We know she's cool. She has this awesome magic, but Hiro doesn't put her on the screen. He doesn't show her full fights, show her what she's really got under her sleeve in their bag of tricks, show us her full power, her full arsenal of what she has. Because we know it's there. We all know it's there. It's clearly there. Because she's that damn good. She's that damn good. She's S-class. Because we all wanted to see Mirajane go ham on somebody. Show us her full power, her full arsenal of abilities and demons and takeovers. Because that right there would have been sick. Mirajane would have been pushed to the top. It wouldn't have been Erza being the top woman anymore. It would have been Mirajane, because then she would have been like, whoa, Mirajane's actually this strong? Holy crap. You know? I believe Mirajane is stronger than Erza because of her takeover and her Satan souls that we have yet to see. Because when we got into the war, the Alabaster War, Alabaster, what the fuck? I think I just made a One Piece reference, but ignore that. But, you know, when we got into the last arc of Fairy Tail, you know, it was stated that she absorbed most of the Tartarus demons there. She went back and absorbed them and took them into took them into her Satan soul. And yet when we saw that one Tartarus member she faced, Celia, but she has that, but she has much more that we haven't even seen yet. Like, she has all these cased abilities, and she keeps piling them on top of her abilities that she already has already. But yet Hiro Mashima doesn't show her because I don't know if he just doesn't like her, or he just doesn't think that Mirajane's worth of putting in a fight, even though she is worth it. She has all these great abilities that she has yet to reveal. Like, she has all these great abilities. But yet no one feels like she's deserving of it. Or at least Hiro Mashima doesn't feel like, I should put Mirajane in a fight, you know. He should, because she's that damn good. Everybody wants to see it. Everybody loves Mirajane. They want to see her do someone in. They want to see her abilities. They want to see the full power of Mirajane and everything that she has. They want to see it. Now, if Erza versus Mirajane happened in a one-on-one fight, how I would see it happening is Erza would don her cruiser armor, her base armor, and it would be like basically back and forth. Mirajane would have her first Satan Soul that she used against Freed, and it'd be back and forth. They would be trading blows here and there, yada da da. And then soon Erza would probably don at least a stronger armor, maybe like a Black Wing armor or Heaven's Wheel, and then Mirajane would don her the Demon God Hobbyist Satan Soul, and then probably Mirajane would be getting the advantage because she probably had the speed advantage until Erza does her speed armor or her flight armor. Then it'd be a little bit more even, and then it'd be back and forth, and then finally Erza would be like, okay, she'd go through all her selected armor to use against Mirajane. Mirajane would probably switch here and there between Satan Souls until she starts getting pressured, and then she would probably use her not the Demon God Hama. She would already be equipped with that. She'd probably go into one of her new ones, probably Celis, and probably use her curse to control Erza. I don't know if she would do that or not, but that would be a good idea to do, and then it'll affect Erza. But then that'd be too easy. So she'd probably go into her new one that she used when she met Lady Irene. That one probably. Or the one that she used during the Magic games when she fought Jenny. That one. So I can see it being a back and forth battle, but overall, Mirajane would win. Even Hiramashima said if Erza and Mirajane went at it, Mirajane would be declared the winner. Because she has so many Satan Souls. So many abilities that we haven't even seen yet. She's got so many tricks up her sleeve. But overall, I think it'd be a great fight. I wish Hero would actually make it, because everyone would be like, wow, this is actually a good fight. And then, minus, it'd be good back and forth. But lately, people have been saying that, people have been disliking Erza because a lot of people, they don't like Fairy Tail because they said all the bullshit friendship reasons. Erza's OP, this and that. And I can't blame them. Like, looking back on it now, it's like, it's there. I mean, I can't blame them for being upset with that. Because then it shows that Hiramashima doesn't care what his fans think. And it's like, hey, Hiro, Erza's doing this bull. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to bother explaining it. Like earlier today, before I made this video, I was watching King of Lightning make his Fairy Tail review on that training arc with a Crime Heart. I was watching that. That was like an hour long, and it was great. He went into so much detail with that. And I wish Hero would do the same thing as he would do like that, because then it'd be so much better, so much better. Like back when I was with my friend, when I first was introduced to Fairy Tail, I watched the old one before the 2014 version came out. It was drastically different. They stopped using the magic circles. They obviously looked different animation wise. It was a whole bunch of things. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. The characters are what kept me into it. And I always thought, I'm like, wow, Mirajane's the poster child. She's always on this model here and there. I thought that she was the woman of Fairy Tail, but it was Erza, and I'm like, for a while, I'm like, well, Erza's this badass character, but Mirajane is even more badass because we haven't seen. But when she does fight, she's we get to see here and there glimpses of what she can do. But most of the time, she doesn't fight unless she has to. But I'm pretty sure she does off-the-screen training. Here and there, she brushes up. But I believe Mirajane is the true badass here. The true poster child of Fairy Tail. In disguise. Erza is just used as a distraction. To keep our eyes on Erza, but then Mirajane is slowly sneaking her way in. I think that's what's going on. But my thoughts now that Fairy Tail ended, well, I mean, I don't know if Hiramashima is going to make the next generation. It'd be cool because people are like all over Nashi, Dragneel, and I even commented on Underrated Mage about that. I even talked to him about that, in the comment section. I said that'd be an interesting character to draw, but hopefully, Hiramasha wouldn't sideline, like, let's say Nashi used celestial magic. Hopefully, like, he doesn't negate, Natsu's, fire dragon magic. Like, I even said that he should do a balance between the two. That way he won't use more than the other. Like, keep it even balanced. Since she's young, she shouldn't be super OP. She should probably use, like, maybe, like, with Lucy, she can use a celestial ki and fight alongside her celestial spirit with her fire magic, or, like, she can, use them both evenly somehow, or combine them. I don't really know, but she'd be an interesting character to really design and develop and actually, critique. So I mean, I think that's worth jumping into and actually experimenting with. But that is my that is my anime theory about Erza versus Mirajane and who is stronger. I think that Mirajane is stronger, guys. Especially now that Erza's been doing some bullshit things in the manga that people have been complaining about a lot. But she's still a great character besides all of that. But this is Eternal Virtues, and I'm really tired, guys. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have so many bags under my eyes because I stayed up all night. I didn't sleep a wink. Well, actually, yeah, I did. I stayed up till like 6:30 a.m. in the morning making the new banner for the channel. I hope you guys like it because I sucked at it. I kept messing up and messing up and messing up and messing up, and it pissed me off so much. And so I finally made one that I liked, which was decent enough, and I saved it. And I'm like, finally. And then when I checked the time, it was 6:30 a.m. in the morning. So I slept and I woke up at 1:13 p.m. I'm like, Jesus. But I hope you guys enjoyed this anime theory. And I hope to see you guys next time when I make another video.